Hey there and welcome back to my channel. So today we are talking about something incredibly important for parents and teachers, understanding learning disabilities. So if you're a parent who is concerned about your child's learning, or you just want to understand what learning disabilities are and how you can support your child, this video is for you. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is what are learning disabilities. So let's start with the basics. What exactly are learning disabilities? So learning disabilities are neurological conditions that affect the way a person processes information. They are not a reflection of a child's intelligence or potential. Kids with learning disabilities are just as smart as their peers, but they process and understand information differently. So there are common learning disabilities, which are disabilities that affect their reading and spelling. We have disabilities that affect their mathematics skills. We have disabilities which affect their writing and fine motor skills. We also have disabilities that are, auditory processing disabilities, which affect their brain and their brain ability to process sounds. We also have the non-verbal learning disabilities, which affect spatial and social skills. So understanding this is crucial for you as a parent or a teacher, because learning disabilities are often invincible. So there's no outward sign that your child has a learning disability. But with the right strategies and support, children with learning disabilities can thrive. Let's now move into the signs of a learning disability. Now you may be wondering, how do I know if my child has a learning disability? Well, there are a few signs to look out for, and they can vary depending on the type of learning disability. For example, reading difficulties. If your child has trouble recognizing words, reading aloud, or understanding what they've read, this could be a sign there's mathematics struggles. If your child have difficulties with numbers, memorizing math factors, or understanding mathematical concepts, this could point to dyscalculia. Then they also have the writing challenges. If your child struggles to organize their thoughts, hold a pencil, or write legibly, they may have dysgraphia. Another is a difficulty following instructions. For instance, if your child struggles to process spoken instructions, or they easily forget what they were told, they might have an auditory processing disorder. So if any of these sounds familiar, it may be a good idea to speak with a professional who can help with evaluation and diagnosis. Now, the impact of learning disabilities. Learning disabilities can affect a child's life in more ways than one. It's not just about academics. They can also impact their confidence, their self-esteem, and social relationships. A child who struggles in school may begin to feel frustrated or discouraged, which can lead to anxiety or even depression. They might also feel isolated from their peers, especially if they are struggling with things like reading or maths, while their classmates seem to be doing just fine. This can actually affect them. So as a parent or a teacher, it is important to recognize that these emotional and social impacts are just as important as the academic challenges your child faces. Let's now move to how you can support your child with a learning disability. Now that we understand learning disabilities and how they can impact your child, let's now talk about how you can support them. So I would give us some tips on how we can support them. Be patient and understanding. One, your child may get frustrated or upset with their struggles, and they may not always understand why they have a hard time. But as a parent, you can help by showing patience, offering encouragement, and reminding them that everyone learns differently. Two, you can create a positive learning environment. I always emphasize on this, because Making sure that your child has a quiet, organized space to study at home, helps minimize distractions. And you can provide tools like graphic organizers, a color-coded note, or an extra time on assignment if there'll be need for that. 3. Advocate for your child. Get involved with your child's school. Do not just leave everything for their teachers. If you suspect a learning disability, ask for an assessment. Many schools provide special education services and accommodation that can help your child succeed. 4. Encourage a growth mindset. Teach your children that challenges are part of learning. Encourage them to keep trying even when something feels difficult. Praise their efforts, not just their results. A lot of parents would want to put more emphasis on the results, but the process into getting that result is their effort. Encourage them. 5. You can consider therapy or tutoring. Some children benefit from therapies like speech therapy, occupational therapy, or tutoring. Working with a professional who understands your child's needs can make a big difference. 6. Celebrate small wins. Learning disabilities can make everyday tasks harder, so it's important to celebrate your child's achievements, whether it's big or it's small. This can actually build their confidence and to keep them motivated. Try that. Now, there are some myths about learning disabilities that we hear on a daily basis. And there are also some misconceptions about learning disabilities. And as a parent, it's important that you clear them up. We hear myths like learning disabilities are the same as low intelligence. No, this is not true. Children with learning disabilities are often highly intelligent, but the problem is that their brains usually just process information differently. Another myth we hear is that learning disabilities will go away as the child gets older. Never. Learning disabilities, they don't just disappear, but with the right strategies, children can learn how to cope and excel in areas where they face challenges. Another myth is only kids who fail in school have learning disabilities. This is false, absolutely false, because some children with learning disabilities may do well in some subjects but struggle in others, which can make their difficulties harder to spot. So remember that learning disabilities are nothing to be ashamed of. If you or your children have learning disabilities, it's nothing to be ashamed of. They simply require different approaches to learning, and that's okay. So parents, teachers, guidance, if you suspect that your child has a learning disability, the best thing to do is to seek professional help. Start by talking to your child's teacher or the school counselor or their parents if you're a teacher, and you can ask for a formal evaluation to get a clear understanding of what is going on. A psychologist or educational specialist can also conduct assessment to identify any learning disabilities, so you can always refer to them. So once you have a diagnosis, you can work together to create an educational plan that addresses your child's specific needs. Finally, there you have it. Learning disabilities are a part of life for many children, but with the right understanding and support, your child can thrive. As a parent, your role is crucial in helping them navigate their challenges and celebrate their strength. Did you find this helpful? Please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe and share, and comment in the comment section if this was helpful. I would see you in my next video. Please stay tuned for more parenting tips and how to understand your children with learning disabilities. See you in my next video. Bye.